So I won't have my stringer in place when I install my kicker board, so I want to locate on the floor where to put my kicker board. So I'm going to make a mark on the front edge of my stringer, and that's going to help me locate the precise spot to install my kicker board. I'm going to mark a line on the floor so I can align my kicker board, and mark an X on the side that the kicker board will go to. Set my kicker board in place. And then I'm going to check the position of the other stringer on the opposite side and make a note of where it lands on the floor. And that will be the face of my kicker board on the opposite end. Again, I mark an X on the side that the kicker board goes to. Now I'm going to cut out the notch for the kicker board. Being careful not to overcut. I don't want to cut beyond my lines. I'll finish the cut with a handsaw, or you can also use a jigsaw if you like. We're now going to cut out each of the steps much the same way that we cut the top and bottom plumb and seat cuts. So normally in production we'll cut all of our tread cuts first and then all of our riser cuts second. When you're making a cut with the jigsaw, make sure you let the saw come to a complete stop before you pull it out of the board. Otherwise you could damage the blade. Now I'm going to put my kicker board back down. And I'll screw it in place. Now I'll take my stringer that I cut and I'll nest it into the kicker board. Check the fit. If I've set the kicker board accurately, the top of my stringer should land right where I want it to. Alright, so we have test fitted our first stringer and we're ready to make a copy of it for the second stringer. For the class mock-up, we'll just be doing a two-stringer stair. However, typically we'll use 3 stringers.
Okay.
So I'm going to go ahead and trace this onto my remaining board. When I trace this, I want to put the side that I initially marked, I want to put that face down on my new board. Reason being is this is the most precise part of the original stringer to draw from. If for whatever reason your saw isn't square or you have rough cuts, usually that rougher edge will be on the opposite side. So we want to make sure that's up. The clean edge is down as we're making the trace. So I am going to put my stringer face down onto my leftover piece of wood, leftover 2x12, and I can actually line it up with this edge here. It saves me a cut if I can do that. If not, you can just shift it to somewhere in the middle. That works as well. I'm going to line that up. It wouldn't also be a bad idea to clamp these 2 parts together if you're worried about it moving, if the wood is warped at all. The other thing to keep in mind is if the wood is crowned at all, if it has a bow to it, you would want that bow, the crown side, to be on the upside of the stairs. This wood is pretty straight, so I'm not worried about that. So I am ready to trace out my board. Sharp number 2 pencil, and I'm going to carefully trace my board. Like so, and there is our copy. When you're cutting out your pattern, since your line is going to be outside of your original stringer, you want to make sure and cut away or take the line as you're cutting. When I cut, I'm going to make sure and take the line, cut it off. So now we have a matched set, perfectly identical stringers. We also need to mark out our spacer board that is going to sandwich between our stringer and the wall. We install a spacer board to allow clearance for drywall and for our skirt board so that we don't have to notch it around every single riser and tread. So we're going to take our original stringer that we laid out, we're going to lay it face down on a piece of 2x4. We're going to flush up the bottom edge, like so. We're going to take our pencil and we're going to mark here and here. So here's how our spacer board looks as compared to our stringer.